Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Let's start clapping, brothers. Come on. For let's start clapping, my friends. Keep it going for Justine Wanda.
Hey everyone. How are you guys doing? So today I was in the Uber and my Uber driver asked me, what is the world coming to? And I was like, an end. It's an end. End the trip. I'm tired. So I didn't pay. The world is ending. I'm saving money. I don't know for what. I love being Kenyan. It's my favorite thing right now because we are in the worst country. I've been very lucky. I travel a lot for comedy. Yeah. I took tuk-tuk and a Buddha here today. It was quite the journey. It was really, was really long. So I actually have traveled a lot for comedy internationally in Africa. I was recently in Uganda. Anyone who's been? Have you guys been to Uganda? Nice. If you haven't been, if you've been to Kakamega, it's exactly the same vibe. There are no skyscrapers, it's just dust and borders. I felt very welcome there because Ugandans are the nicest people I have ever met. They offered me a place to stay, they offered me food, they offered me nyash. But I declined, you know, you don't take resources from the people. I could never. So I came back without the nyash. But I realized Ugandans are doing well in so many areas. They do have a lady who was running for an MP seat, and she was running and she had offered the people an ambulance, right? And then when she lost the election, she took back the ambulance. And I think more politicians should be petty. You know, we should have more petty politicians. And I think this is why they haven't changed their president. Because he will go with everything. He will go with the airport in Entebbe. He'll go with parts of the road that are actually road and not potholes. Ugandans are visionaries, you guys. And so I support them very much because, like, I realized in Kenya you cannot write certain things. Like, I write satire for a living, and it's becoming very difficult. I wrote a headline some months ago: Soprano man becomes VP, and it became a reality. And then it's just like, now what's the point? What's really the point? So I saw a headline the other day that said Ugandans protesting corruption. And I was like, fiction writers are doing so well in Uganda, you know. There's no way that's real, you know. I support all the writers in Uganda. I'm a big fan. I don't know if you guys also saw that Tanzania overtook Kenya as like the East African economy powerhouse. Did you guys see? And I'm like, women are doing well, you know. The solution was just down there the whole time. They're doing well. But like, I can't give President Samia all the credit, you know, because Diamond is the first person to ever go platinum. You know, have to give credit where it's due, so you don't become Willie Paul. It's a very Kenyan tale. Sorry for anyone who does not get that one. I was also recently in Cape Town, and that's the most functional city I've ever been to. Because I was trying to cross a road and the driver did not try to run me over. And I was like, I have to come back home. This is ridiculous, you know. Road is supposed to be competed with. You're supposed to feel unsafe. This girl's just like, go. The lights have said stop. Literally you can see the zebra crossing. I was like, this is no way to live. I had to come back. I had to come back home. So yesterday I almost died at like Koja roundabout, and I was like, yeah, this is home. This is home. I'm happy. So away from my travels, I'm gonna tell you a couple of personal things about myself. I'm a very impatient person. I'm very impatient. Hi, what's your name? I don't have time for this. You say it's a problem. I'm working on it. One day I'll learn your name. I won't. I won't. The world is ending. I'm tired. I'm not going to learn your name. But I know it's beautiful, and that's all that matters. Okay? Yeah. I was told to say this because I'm getting, I was very depressed, so I'm getting free therapy. And they haven't gotten to me yet. I am still on the calendar. It's like somewhere maybe in January, so I have to do this to help. So I hope you understand my situation. I've also, this has been a journey for me. 2024 has been a journey for me because I have been ghosted. Yeah, I was ghosted like when the year began. I was having a really good year until the 2nd of January. That's where so everything abandoned me. I was ghosted on the 2nd of January, and I was like, this guy has really good New Year's resolutions, like right out of the gate. So when I was ghosted, I was shocked because I didn't know people could just stop talking to you. So I texted this person after they didn't talk to me, I texted them. And then they didn't text back, and then I texted a second text to see if he had gotten the first text. And then I sent a third text. And then that's where TikTok told me this is loser behavior. Apparently the first two, it's okay. The third one is when you're losing your mind. So I came up with an idea to help anyone who's being ghosted. You guys want to hear it? Yes. Okay, so I'm developing an app where when you're in the process of being ghosted, when you send the first text, your phone sends a small pop-up. This is a conversation, maybe, question mark. When you send the second text and you haven't received a reply, your phone goes alert, alert, alert. Embarrassing. This way you start thinking about your choices. You're like, okay, maybe I should put my phone down. But when you're very determined and you send the third text and you haven't gotten a reply, your phone should shut down for 3 days. But before it goes off, it will tell you, find your dignity, black screen. Yeah. Anyone who wants to invest in my app, oh, you guys have never been ghosted? Okay, that's cool. I have a theory about why I'm being ghosted. I think I'm being ghosted because I've been parentless since I was 4. So all these guys are just trying to connect me to my parents, They're giving me the parental experience, and it makes me fall in love even more because, they see me. Every time I do this joke, people feel really bad. I don't know why. It's Africa. You are bound to meet an orphan. It's me today. The UN didn't send me, I promise. This is all true. So after I was ghosted, I literally realized, because I'm adopted, there's a couple of things that I didn't learn growing up. No one taught me about periods. Which is so weird. I learned how to shave before I learned about periods. My cousins were all boys. They were just like, take the razor to your face. So I've been shaving since I was 12. I learned to shave. I didn't know about periods because I would watch the pad ads on TV, and I thought periods was pouring a blue dye on a pad. So I was like really practicing my moves, I had a very steady hand when I was a teenager. And then I went to boarding school, and my adoptive parents packed like a bunch of pads in my suitcase, and they're like, good luck. So when I got to school, I didn't know what they were for. I used some of them as sleeping masks. I used some of them as the insole of my shoe. Cotton is very comfortable. So when my period came, I was like, okay, maybe this is what it's for, but I didn't know you're supposed to use one. So I just packed my underwear like a diaper, like a DIY diaper. I was walking around like a transformer, you guys. I was just like Maxipad, Prime. It was amazing. You guys don't support adopted children. It's fine. I was a creative child. I think I won that one. So I grew out of that phase. I grew out of it. I became an adult. I'm a responsible person. And then I've earned money. I've gone to vacation. And I was on vacation earlier in the year. And I was having a good time. And I experienced something called white theft. Exactly. It's like when a white person steals from you if you're not familiar. It used to be called colonialism, but they rebranded, It's more directly in your face now. So I was staying in a villa with a bunch of strangers, and a white guy stole my Apple charger. And I was so disappointed because he didn't just steal from me, right? He stole from the kids of Congo too. Yeah. That's a bigger atrocity. Like just find Amazon, So when he stole from me, I went to get my charger back, right? I confronted him. I was like, you have to give me back my charger. And what he did was so amazing. He brought out his black girlfriend, and they beat me to my charger. And I was like, this is such a beautiful relationship, Turns out that guy was not a racist. He was just a thief, you guys. And that's progress. That's... So proud of them. So now I am into interracial dating. Yeah. I want to be protected like that. But my interracial dating is different. I'm trying to move to Parklands. Because usually with Indian families, it comes with a house, and that's a very important part. It's very important to me as a parentless person. It's very... So it's been a journey because I've been trying to convince my friends to support me, and my friends are not very supportive, you guys. They're like, Justine, you can't get married into an Indian family. You don't know the culture. And I'm like, I have been stuck in a bedsheet before. I can wear a sari. It's the same thing. So she was like, okay, what if you get over the culture thing and you get a really harsh mother-in-law? What happens then? I've told you guys I'm parentless. That's me gaining a parent. A win is a win. Yes. You guys are more supportive than my friends. I'll ditch them. So I'm trying to be better. I promise I'm trying to be a better person. And as a person who's like more into interracial dating, I am also a feminist. Any feminists in here? That's the energy. Feminists are tired. We were marching yesterday. Marching for our lives. I'm a feminist on Twitter. I don't know about real life. It's very hard to be a feminist in real life because someone catcalled me the other day, and I was like, yeah, that's a very good-looking person. It was a conundrum. Be feminist, be... Okay. People don't seem happy about me doing that particular one. I'm gonna move on. So I was recently on a catcalling tour. I told you guys I travel for comedy. I was on a catcalling tour. It was accidental. I didn't know you could do this. My first stop in the catcalling tour was Nairobi. They have to catcall you in Kenya first. Home is best. I was catcalled by a matatu conductor. It's in their job description. They have to do it. So I was walking to this matatu very early in the morning. And this matatu conductor just went, "Wah, madam uko na haga ndogo." And I'm like, it's 7 a.m. Where are your priorities, And he had so much material that day. He was like, "Madam uko na haga ndogo, unajua ukikaa chini unasikia uchungu." Look, what he said is just facts. I used to have a desk job, and I used to have to sit down the whole day. But I couldn't. I had to get up every hour because my ass started hurting. And I would try to explain this to my boss, and she didn't understand. Oh, sorry. He didn't understand because he was a Somali man. They're very endowed. He was just like, I don't understand what your problem is, so he fired me. I was fired on a Friday. My boss was like, you can take the weekend off forever, yeah? It's very difficult. My second stop in my catcalling tour was South Africa, and I was just stopped by a very big pot-bellied man in the hallway. And I was like, what a way to use your one ab, sir. This is incredible work. Didn't even use his words. My last stop in my catcalling tour was Tanzania, and I encourage every lady to go and get catcalled down there. It's such a beautiful experience. I was walking down the beach with a friend of mine, and this guy just saw me and he went, "Dada unapendeza." And my nyash grew, you guys. It grew. It was so heartwarming. What he said to me was so beautiful. I almost got down on one knee and proposed to this condom vendor, you guys. It was like, I trust you, Oh, I shouldn't have left Tanzania, It was a nice time. So I came back home, and the catcalling is not the same. So I've graduated as a person. I have a couple of minutes to go, you guys. So I'm a big matatu users. Any matatu users in here? Any matatu drivers? I don't know your lives. I'm just asking valid questions. If you don't know what a matatu is, it's a bus or a van that's also a club or a marketplace. That's what it is. And I love using matatus. I absolutely love using matatus because I've almost died in one of these things 2 times. So I'm going to tell you my experience. The first one was kind of weird. I was in these tiny matatus, you know, like the Nissan ones that look like they're being held together by Rachel's prayers. You guys know the ones? So I was in one of those matatus and they were really struggling to go uphill. And like we went uphill for a bit and then it just got somewhere and it gave up and it started rolling downhill. And our driver jumped out of the matatu, ran all the way downhill, and then he held out his arms like this. And I was like, okay, Spider-Man, I guess. But the matatu was so determined to kill us, it went around him. And the conductor was like, I'm so sorry, this happens to Kamau sometimes. Kamau is the driver. So he found a giant stone, threw it to the back tire. The matatu went over the stone. And none of us were trying to jump out of the matatu. That's what shocked me. It was just like, the economy is bad, we might as well die, you know. So what stopped us was another matatu that was struggling to go uphill. And I think I figured out how to invest in the Kenyan economy. You know, you just find really old models that work and then you put your money in there, you know. That's how I'm saving lives, you guys. The second instance that I've almost died in a matatu. This one was a fun one. I got into a matatu. I sit down, I sit at the window, and then this church lady, she came in and she sat next to me. And I'm saying she's a church lady because she was wearing Prophet War couture. She looked amazing. From head to toe, she was just she looked like my grandmother's house. She looked amazing. She came, she sat next to me. She takes out her phone from her bag. And I look at her phone, it's the most giant font I have ever seen. And I'm like, that's a small billboard. I'm reading everything, you know? So this lady was having an affair with her pastor. Exactly. I was like, I'm going to read every text. So her pastor had texted her, I didn't think you were into me. And she texted back, when we were praying, I squeezed your hand lightly. And I'm like, that's basically third base for church people, you know? Because I'm like, what is she going to do to seal it? You know, she had to say something. So I thought maybe she was going to take an uncle photo and send it. That's not what she did. She went on Google, typed in Fanta Orange. The results came up, she screenshotted and sent that. And who here knows how to flirt in SDA? What does that mean? I think it means ntakukunywa, yeah. So while I was busy enjoying this exchange between them and this unholy birth of an affair, you know, I was really invested. Another matatu came, slammed onto the window where I was seated. The glass crashed and it almost cut my neck. And I realized, do not spy on church people. They are praying and God is listening. That woman almost ended my life. So mind your business, you guys. Be better than me. So lastly, before I leave, I saw a woman boda boda rider today. Have you guys ever seen a woman boda boda rider? I have never seen one. It was so shocking. You know, she was on the wrong side of the road. She was endangering people's lives. She was swerving. She had a speaker that, where you sit, that's where the speaker is. And I was like, that's feminism. You go, queen. And then she just kept going and she fell into a ditch. And I realized, women, we can't stay on top. It's not in us, you know. Thank you guys so much. That's been my time.